Now last Friday I left off in verse number 29, and we saw the dilemma or the plight of the people after the conspiracy that had developed. There is a conspiracy of her prophets, her priests, and her princes. A conspiracy is any time two or more people gather together to promote or to produce evil. If 3 or 4 men get together and say we're going to rob the First National Bank, not only do you have robbery, and they actually carry out the plan, not only do you have robbery, but you also have conspiracy. Anytime two corporations get together, they say that we're going to hold our prices at such and such, and then we're going to stifle out the competition. You have violation of the Clayton-Sherman Act. You also have conspiracy. That falls into the area of racketeering. There's no doubt in my mind that there is a conspiracy in the world. Paul identifies that as the mystery of iniquity that doth already work. He deals with that in 2 Thessalonians chapter number 2. But you and I see a striking resemblance between the prophets, the priests, and the princes of Ezekiel's day and the whole political class, not only in the United States of America, but for that matter, the political class of the world. Europe is farther along down this toboggan slide to hell than we are, but Europe is controlled by a political class. They call them technocrats, unelected bureaucrats in the bureaucratic state. That's the problem that we have in Washington with all of these alphabet soup agencies. There's an agency for this and an agency for that. We're familiar with some of the more broadly known, the Department of Education, the Department of Interior, the Department of Labor, and the EPA. We're more familiar with those, but there are all kind of agencies that are filled up with bureaucrats that are not elected, therefore they are not accountable to the American people. And many of the charters of those bureaucratic states are set up, bureaucratic institutions are set up that the director of the institution may write laws or write legislation, so on and so forth. And that turns them into a bureaucratic state. And you can't vote them out because you didn't vote them in. And many of our legislators have no idea who is back in the bowels of these agencies. Many of them are in cahoots with them. I'm alarmed at the big tech giants and the positions of power they have in our government. They have the money to buy off politicians. Most of the politicians have been bought off by them with these massive campaign contributions. So the antitrust laws, the monopoly laws, become ignored. Who's going to break up an institution that's giving you $8 or $10 million a year in campaign contributions? And the first thing you know, they have a monopoly over everything you and I hear and everything we say. And if they decide that they're not going to let you say, they'll just close out your Twitter account, or they'll close out your YouTube channel, or they'll close out your Facebook account and shut you up. I mean, if they would do that to President Trump, then they'll do that to any of us and never bat an eye. A violation of the First Amendment to the Constitution, but a frightening reality. I find in this, her princes, that would be elected officials, verse 27, in the midst thereof are like wolves ravening the prey. We, in America and in the world, we're very long on politicians and very short on statesmen. A politician will raven the prey of his constituency, while a statesman would never do such a thing. To shed blood, to destroy souls, to get dishonest gain. Now, if that is not in a nutshell, the vast majority of the 535 members of the Congress, the House and the Senate in the United States, I've never read it in the Bible. To shed blood, to destroy souls to get dishonest gain. When the people cried for a redress of their grievances, they went to the prophets. And the prophets daubed them with untempered mortar. They put an ineffectual balm on them. That untempered mortar is a balm. You'd get a wound, an open wound in your body, or a boil would break out, and many of the old timers would prepare a balm and put that balm, here called a mortar, put that balm on the sore. And some of the old-timey people would they'd work up a concoction of herbs and roots and things of that nature, and they'd pull the poison out of those boils, and they'd put that balm on there. They knew what they were doing, and in a day or two that thing would fester and burst open, and the poison would run out of it, and the person would soon be better. Well, the people went to the prophets, and the prophets gave them untempered mortar. They gave them a balm that was unprepared. In other words, they spoke unto them in platitudes. James deals with that. He says, you see a man that's hungry and naked, and you say unto him, be warmed and filled, and yet thou givest him not the things that are needful for the body. That is speaking in platitudes. Well, everything's going to be okay, and y'all just hang in there. They gave them untempered mortar, seeing vanity, and divining unto them lies unto them, saying, thus saith the Lord God, when the Lord hath not spoken. And we are living now in an age when light is called darkness, and darkness is called light, and good is called evil, and evil is called good. Now look at verse number 29. The people of the land have used oppression and exercised robbery, and that is precisely where we are. We are not a government of the people, by the people, and for the people. We are a people that are being overrun and overlorded by con artists, felons, and crooks that are in our state capital and in Washington, D.C. And their tactics are not liberty and freedom for all, liberty and justice for all. Their tactics are oppression. Whenever you speak the truth, or you speak your mind, and we have that guarantee under the First Amendment, and Twitter cancels your account, that is oppression. I don't care